What's going on, guys? Caden Aiden here, back with another video. All glory to God. And for the first time since 1971, the Milwaukee Bucks are the NBA champions.
It's over. The Bucks have done it. The long wait has ended. After a half century, the Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions once again.
50-year title drought. It's crazy.
Crazy.
I mean, it was either going to be a 50-year title drought, ended, or it was going to be a first ring ever for the Suns. So, I mean, I'm not mad at the outcome. I was rooting for the Suns, not going to lie, but I'm definitely not mad at the outcome.
I'm not mad about it.
So the Bucks did win, obviously, 105-98. Giannis had 50 points, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks. But okay, so 50 points is obviously insane in the finals. But one thing I have to mention is he hit 17 free throws. So while
he's splashing it.
Yeah. He shot 17 for 19, only missing 2 free throws, which is insane, obviously, for Giannis, only shooting.
Clutch ones, too.
And he's only shooting around 60% in the playoffs. So, I mean, he obviously stepped it up big this game, which is where it matters the most. So, Giannis was obviously named Finals MVP. I saw some people saying Chris Middleton, but I think they just hate on Giannis, bro. I swear.
It wasn't even a question.
It wasn't, but they just be hating on Giannis for no reason. But, Bucks won 4 in a row following the Suns' 2-0 lead. I mean, I wasn't super surprised the Suns blew a 2-0 lead, honestly, because 2-0 is the most blown lead in basketball. So it's almost kind of like, 2-0.
Yeah, no, I wasn't surprised either. I mean, the Suns were supposed to win those 2 games at home.
Mm-hmm.
You win your first 2 games at home. Both teams did that. And then it came down to game 5. And I told Aiden, talking this on the phone, I said, if the Bucks win game 5,
yeah, that's it.
Way they lose in the finals.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Game 6 was going to be a win for the Bucks no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I told Aiden that, and they pulled it out.
So, Kane, what are your overall thoughts on Game 6 of the NBA Finals?
I thought Game 6 was good. I thought it was sloppy at first. I thought the Suns really didn't pick it up to the pace that the Bucks did. Both teams started out terrible. The Bucks really picked it up toward the end of that first quarter and kind of rode that momentum throughout. I thought the Suns really didn't do that. I think the main thing, the Suns, they struggled. Booker had 19, Ayton had 12. I mean, those are 2 or 3 best players that weren't going off. You got to get those 3 guys in 20 if you want to have a shot, at least 20 points, and they just didn't do that.
Yeah, I think for the Suns, it was just I don't know. It seems like almost nobody had a good game. Chris Paul did have 21 points, but even then, like he had a really bad turnover with like 5 minutes left in the game. He would just dribble the ball and then he just lost it. He's had a problem with this all series or the last 3 games.
Well, I thought
turning the ball over.
I thought that would be someone where he's a veteran. Yeah, it's his first finals, but I wasn't really expecting nerves from him, and I was kind of wrong. He missed a lot of easy shots, turned the ball over a lot down the stretch of the finals, not even just last night, game 4, game 5. And I mean, you could tell there was nerves throughout the court. Those are 2 young teams. I thought Chris Paul would be there to kind of steady the Suns, and he wasn't. That's just the reality of it.
And as far as overall performances on the Suns, I think Chris Paul had a good game. D-Book had 14 points, shot 0 for 7 from 3, did not have a good game. And if you watch DeAndre Ayton play, he had 14 points, right? If you watch that game, you would not think he had 14 points, dude. I mean, it was easy. He was post hooks over whether it was Brook Lopez or Giannis on him. It seemed like nothing was going in for him yesterday.
Yeah, I think no one on the Suns had a great finals, to be honest with you. I mean, Booker was there, but he wasn't there last night when it mattered.
He wasn't there when it mattered the most, exactly. And as far for the Bucks, last night, Giannis was going insane. Chris Middleton, he started off a little bit rough, but he definitely picked it up.
I got something on Chris Middleton. Sorry.
You good?
He was okay. Here's the thing about him, right? What I noticed, game 4, game 5, game 6, the Middleton and Holiday haters were real quiet at the end of that series. What happened? Because they weren't doing good in game 1, game 2, game 3. Who's going to step up for the Bucks? Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Middleton? Is it going to be Holiday? Both of them stepped up. They did what they had to do. None of them they didn't have to be the best player on their team. They stepped up and did what they had to do.
Yeah, I think Jrue Holiday, he played rough last night, offensively speaking. He played good on defense, he plays good on defense every night. There's no question whether or not.
In the series. It wasn't even close.
I mean, Giannis did have 5. Giannis went crazy on defense yesterday, too. It seemed
Giannis
like
was
no matter what
crazy.
was going up, he was there.
But here's the thing: Giannis was going crazy, but he wasn't guarding Devin Booker and Chris Paul, the most important players all series.
Yeah, true.
Not to take away from anything Giannis is doing, I'm just saying, like Drew Holiday, I think was the best defender in the series.
Hmm. But he was rough, dude. I remember on the at the very start of the game, I think he airballed maybe 3 shots.
Yeah.
I remember at one point he was like he was 1 for 11. I just think I think I don't think he's bad. I think he's just one of those players that shoots too much whenever he shouldn't be.
One thing we do want to highlight was the Bucks' ability to win close games. They won Game 4, 103, 109, Game 5, 123, 119, and Game 6, 105, 108. I mean, close games in the finals, especially, that go either way, and the Bucks were just able to get them to go their way. Clutch plays from Holiday, Giannis. I mean, they were just able to get them.
Mm-hmm. So after winning, 2 MVPs, a Defensive Player of the Year, his first finals, 5-time All-Star, and where is Giannis as far as greatness?
I think he's right there. I mean, he's still young. As far as the finals run he goes, I think that's right there. The finals run he had, I think that's right there with the best finals runs ever. I mean, you would look, he's constantly dropping 50 points, 40, but dude's playing like he's a bench warmer and doesn't get any minutes. Like he's hustling after every ball.
Mhm.
That's what I like about Giannis. He's no matter what the situation was, and it's not even just the finals that he plays like that. He plays like that in the regular season. And two, I wanted to read something here that Jalen Rose said on the broadcast before the game last night. He said Giannis became the third player ever to win Finals MVP, DPOY, and the Finals and the MVP regular season, joining Jordan and Hakeem.
Mhm.
If that doesn't spell greatness, I don't know what does.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, I think after this, especially this final run, I mean, you can't mention best power forwards of all time without him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We talk about best power forwards. We talk about Tim Duncan, Karl Malone, Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki. But now we got to put Giannis there. Now there's no debate.
Definitely. And if you're talking about accolades, he's like, I mean, he has more accolades than Dirk does.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, he has to be ranked top. I mean, if he's not, he's probably the 5th best power forward of all time right now. But that's a different debate. We're not going to get into that. So now we're going to talk about the Suns struggling in Game 6. Booker had 19 points. Ayton had 12 points. I mean, like I said, I don't know if you watched the game last time, but Ayton, like, he had 12 points. I wouldn't be able to tell you had 12 points. If you would have asked me before I came in here, I would have said, maybe like 6 or something like that. It was rough, dude.
No, it was rough. They struggled. I think the Suns really, outside of the first 2 games, they didn't have a game where they all clicked. And if Booker and CP3 are going off in the same game, they're like almost impossible to beat, but they didn't have that. When Booker was there, Paul wasn't there. When Paul was there, Booker wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you need Ayton. Ayton kind of plays off CP3 too, so I think that maybe had a little to do with this. CP3's passing wasn't as good as it should have been this series. But still, I mean, Ayton's taking post hooks. He's taking bad shots last night, and I mean, the Suns just weren't there.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, one of the biggest questions after this final series is what's next for Chris Paul, I mean, he's on the Rockets, he went to the Thunder, now went to the Suns, you know what I mean? I mean, he couldn't get it done in the Rockets. He made the Thunder to the playoffs, though, was very, like, no one expected them to make it to the playoffs, so that's obviously amazing right there. But, I mean, what's next? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I fully anticipating, especially after them loss, I fully anticipate he re-signs with Phoenix. They have a really good young team, and obviously they're committed to him. That team's only getting better. Mm-hmm. So I believe that he's going to re-sign with Phoenix.
For me, it's just complicated because it's like you can't tell the Suns to tear it all down because they have Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. You know what I mean?
They're not even
but
close.
At the same time, going into next season, where with everyone healthy, Kawhi Leonard. I mean, I'm not sure Kawhi's still on the Clippers, obviously. Both Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard. You know what I mean? How are the Suns going to fit in with that?
They're right there for me. I think they're still at the top, pretty close to the top, if not at the top. I mean, you look at what Devin Booker is doing. The league knows that the Suns are there now, but if they can get Chris Paul back, personally, I think they're right there at the top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for the Suns, I don't think it's the starting lineup. I just think they need that one player off the bench, even
Clarkson or like someone like
that. Exactly. Someone who can just get it done. You know what I mean? Because I feel like right now, you have Jay Crowder. I think Jay Crowder's good, but he's very spotty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
mean, he might hit 5 threes, but then, he might hit 0 threes. You know what I mean? They need a guy who's consistent every game, like Jordan Clarkson, who will get
Mhm.
you 15 points every night, but will also get you 25 sometimes. You know what I mean?
And one thing I think too on that note, I think Cam Johnson is turning into that dude that you just
Mm-hmm.
described. I mean, he's knocking down shots. He plays. His defense is a little questionable, but I mean, on the offensive end, the dude has it. He's young too. Once he builds out his frame a little bit more, and he can, impact the game more on defense. I think he's that dude.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's they're one of those teams where it's like I don't know what the problem is. You know what I mean? You have
I
Chris
personally
Paul.
don't think there's a problem. I think they have everything they need right there within the organization.
Yeah, I think they just went up against a better team. That's really it.
Went up against the Bucks, a player in Giannis that couldn't be stopped.
I don't know. I guess they just need a better big. I mean, DeAndre Ayton's a great big, but maybe a better four. You know what I mean? Better power forward. But I
So
don't
next,
know.
we wanted to kind of shift the focus to CP3 a little bit, and this next headline I saw on ESPN this morning. I was quite shocked that they were even talking about this. Aiden, is CP3's title window closed?
Here's the thing. I don't know because when you talk about title window, I mean, of course it's never closed. You know what I mean? He can play till he's 40 and then demand a trade to the best team in the league. You know what I mean? And get a title there. But as far as, him leading a team to the finals where he's still one of the best players on the court, I don't think it's over. You know what I mean? Suns could very well come out next year and be just as good as they were this year. So I would say no. But, we said Chris Paul's title window's done for a long time. You know what I mean?
No,
Whenever,
the title window is still open for Chris Paul. I
like,
mean,
whenever he was on the Rockets, you know what I mean? People were like, I don't know, who knows?
yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like, okay, they lost in the finals this year, right?
Hmm.
He clearly led the team to the finals. I don't understand why, like, what? Here's the thing about these people that are asking this question. What is going to be so dramatically different about the Suns with CP3 on it that is going to make them worse this year or next year than this year?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're not really losing anybody
They're not.
outside of Chris Paul, I think. I mean, he requested to go to the Suns, so
He's requested.
I doubt he would leave, but you never know.
His title window is absolutely open, and anyone that tells you it's not, I hate to say this, but like they just don't know anything about basketball.
Yeah. One
I don't.
thing is that
I don't think it's close.
if Chris Paul's winning a ring, I don't want him to go to like the Lakers or anything like that. I want him to get his ring. I want him to get his ring right. Like Dwight Howard's a good example. How many teams has Dwight Howard been on? Come on, like Magic, Rockets, Lakers again, the Wizards, like Hornets. This dude goes
I think
everywhere to get a ring.
he will get the ring like that eventually. I would have liked to seen it this year, but it just was not. So another thing too, Aiden, where does CP3 rank among all-time point guards?
I mean, for me, he's definitely like a top 5 or like top 8 point guard of all time. It's not really close, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I say for top 5, Curry, Magic. Ooh, Oscar Robertson at number 3. I would say
Mm-hmm.
maybe Chris Paul there, but you can also make an argument for Isaiah Thomas or Stockton or whatever. But I don't think Stockton though. I would say, but I don't know. I definitely think it's
I
top
think
5.
he's number 5. If 5 or 6, I wouldn't. I think him and Westbrook right now we're kind of waiting to see, as the end of their careers play out. But
Mhm.
I still think he's top 5. And you guys are going to argue, oh, well, he didn't win the ring. He doesn't have a ring. Well, okay, let's look at the team he took to the finals. Let's look at the other teams he's been on. He didn't have anyone on the Hornets. He had 2 of the most probably overrated players in NBA history on the Clippers, Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. He had the most selfish player in NBA history on the Rockets in a system that was completely built for James Harden. And then he went
Hey, wait, too. That's not biased either. That's not biased. All right.
no, it's not biased.
These are fans that I watch so many. We watched so many Rockets game with Chris Paul and Harden. Like we know what we're talking
You
about.
can't say that system was not completely built for James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone goes
Exactly.
to Thunder leads that team to the playoffs where their second best player was a young Shea.
Mm-hmm.
And then now he's on the Suns, which
And now he's actually on a pretty good team that's built around him, and he took him to the
now he's on
finals.
the best team he's ever been on.
Mm-hmm.
He's a top 5 point guard. He makes everyone better. Why do you think Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan looked so good when he was there?
That's one thing about Russell Westbrook that I don't think he makes everyone look better.
I think he does to an extent.
I don't know. Like I'm just like for me, I'm not like a Westbrook hater or anything like that. But I mean, I go from people. Oh, he gets underrated and then he's overrated the next day. because everyone was like, oh, Westbrook sucks or whatever. Next thing you know, Westbrook's averaging a triple double, has like back-to-back 40-point games. You know what I mean?
No, I think Westbrook's a player. I think him and Paul are right there.
Westbrook's obviously top 10 point guard of all time. There's no debate. I do say Oscar Robertson above him though, just because I think Oscar Robertson accomplished more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
And Oscar Robertson also averaged a triple double in a really not better era, but where that wasn't like no one done it before. You know what I mean?
So I want to ask you this a little bit off topic of point guards, but what do you think about this finals? Like, where does this rank among finals you've witnessed?
I've watched. What finals have I watched? I've watched obviously 2016.
You watched 16 and up.
16 and up. 2016. I don't know. I'm kind of like I like 2016, but I think it's a little bit overrated just because every single game outside of like Game 7 was a blowout win for either of the team. So that's why I'm a little iffy on Game 7. 2017 was not good. 2018 was better than 2017. No. 2017 was better than 2018. I meant to say 2019 was a good finals. 2020 was pretty good. I think Game 5 was just I think Game 5 of the Lakers versus Heat was a great game. That was the best game of the series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Game 5. But I don't know, because if you put Game 5 into this series, that would still be the best game. I think this is the third best or the second best, honestly. Okay. No, third, sorry. For me, it's 2016, 2019, and then probably this year.
I think this was a really good finals overall. I mean, it was competitive both ways. There weren't that many humongous blowouts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, as far as among what I've witnessed, I don't know. I've watched every final since 2010, and my perspective has kind of changed. But it's definitely up there. It was not a snooze fest at all. Every game was entertaining. No one knew the outcome. Even up until last night, there were some people, like a good majority of people, that still thought the Suns were going to win. Good majority thought the Bucks were going to win. It kind of shifted throughout. So I don't know. I thought it was a really good finals, and I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, so we're going to talk a little bit more just about, Giannis, because I remember a few months ago, everyone was talking about how Giannis would never win a ring on the Bucks, never win a ring in Milwaukee. I just think he did a really good job at proving everybody wrong. They're even showing stuff from tweets from 2014 saying he's not going to leave the Bucks or whatever, how he's going to get him a championship. And I think it's cool that he finally did it. And he did it the right way too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think the media tried to force him out of Milwaukee. He wants to go here. He wants to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Miami, Golden State. But I think he said, I want to be here. I want to win a title here.
And he did it.
That's really one of the, as far as I've seen, like one of the people that's just said they want to do something, went out and did it. That's all I got on Giannis. He's just great. He's going to be great for years to come.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, what's next for the Bucks is only up from here, next season. Next season, I expect, I'm not saying I expect them to go back to back, but I definitely expect conference finals for the Bucks. You know what I mean?
I expect them to be really good next year.
But yeah, man, it was a great finals. Giannis is a great player. I'm excited to see what's next for the Bucks and the Suns. So for now, that's Kane Naden signing off.
What is your goal for your career?
I want to be an NBA player.